Welcome to the Intuitive Websites 4-Step Guide to Marketing Success on the Internet. This is Tom Young, President and CEO of Intuitive Websites. Let's review the program objectives. The objective of this presentation is to educate you on our 4-step process that we've used successfully for over 10 years with hundreds of clients. The 4-step process is broken down into a series of videos that you will find on this website. This is a marketing presentation, and the objective is to grow your business and develop an action plan. Let's look at the 4 steps. The first is strategy. Strategy is your roadmap for success on the Internet. It basically is the guidelines for what you want your website to do, what you want it to do for your company, the kind of success you want to see, and what you want website users to do or website visitors to do when they come to your site. The strategy outlines and gives a guideline for design and development, which is step 2. Design and development is absolutely critical, but usually this is an area that is started on before a strategy is set in place. Step 3 is driving traffic. What's critical here is that you have a strategy and a good design in place before you start driving traffic, because traffic takes time and money, and you don't want to waste your money sending traffic to a site that's not ready for it. And the final step, step 4, is website performance, and that is the ongoing monitoring and tracking of your website, weekly or monthly. All these 4 steps work together, and the final step is critical. Many companies put up a website and then kind of forget about it, just leave it up there. But without step 4, you have no way of tweaking your strategy, improving your design, so that you get better results. This presentation is going to be an introduction to this 4-step process. Let's jump into step 1, which is strategy. What's important about web strategy? One of the most important parts is that you have a big picture understanding of what web marketing is all about, what the Internet is all about, how it works. There's a lot of misconceptions about the Internet and how you get results on the Internet. If you don't have a good understanding, there's no way to implement this strategy. So people on the team and the folks that drive this process in your company need to have a big picture understanding of websites and search engines and email marketing and the whole gamut of things that go into being successful online. To help you get an understanding, you've got to go out and do market research. Talk to your users, talk to your customers and your clients, get data from website statistical programs like Google Analytics and things like that. One of the best ways to get a big picture understanding is to go out and research your marketplace and get more information that's readily available on the web. From this will then come an Internet marketing plan. An Internet marketing plan then lays out all the steps that you need to implement your strategy. And this will include the people that are responsible for taking action and putting the plan into reality, making it happen, and that's your web marketing team. So there are 4 common web marketing strategies. The first I want to talk about is branding. A website leaves an impression in your users. When you first come and look at a website, you have an impression of what the company is about and whether or not it can be trusted and all those things. Having an excellent website is a branding strategy, and when you don't have an excellent website, then your branding is having a negative effect on your business. A second strategy is to use your website to generate sales or marketing leads. Very common. This is a very common strategy. It has to do with converting people into visitors, from visitors into contacts for your sales team. A third strategy is to sell directly online. And while this is very popular and gets a lot of press, it actually is not used that much with companies. Most companies are concerned with branding and generating leads off their website. And finally, a fourth strategy is competitive advantage. This is figuring out how you can do things better than your competitors, and because of that, people come to your website. That's a strategy. You can do all 4 of these strategies. You can do 2 or 3 of these strategies, but they're the most common strategies to see online and should form the foundation for your web marketing plan. What is not a strategy? This is important because this is what most websites do, and these are the reasons why most websites were developed in the first place. I'm not going to go through each of these bullet items individually, but you can pause this presentation and read these. I think you'll find you may be guilty of 1 or 2 of these strategies, and keep in mind that they're not going to be effective because they're really not a web strategy. So how do you go about developing a web strategy? The first thing to do is identify your target market's needs and hot buttons. really get a good understanding of what they need to do on your website, why they come to your website. They're going to do this for two reasons. They're going to come to your site because they either want to improve how they do their current job if you're doing business to business, or they're going to try to improve the quality of their lives if you're selling directly to consumers. And the key point here is that your business already does this. You wouldn't be in business if you weren't helping people do their jobs or somehow improving the quality of people's lives. So then your challenge is to translate what you already do well to your website. If you have a new business, then it's translating what your business plan is about and what you hope to do for people to your website. They go hand in hand. There shouldn't be a loss or a disconnect between what you do for clients and what your website's communicating. And one of the key questions in your strategy is going to be, what do you want visitors to do on your site? Do you want them to convert and contact your sales team, buy online? Do you want them to get an impression of your company? Do you want them to search your free resources? What is it that you want visitors to do on your website? One of the best ways to figure that out is through market research and by looking at your data, your analytics. Search engines are the great place to start because you can go and look at the keywords that people use to find companies like yours, and from those keywords, determine what your strategy should be. A great resource for this is wordtracker.com. We'll talk more about that in other videos on this website. Also, Google Analytics is a great starting point as far as getting a handle on what people do on your website and looking at the stats and the hard data that says people are visiting this page, ignoring this page, this is how long they stay on your website, and basically this is if they convert or don't convert, and this is what they do on the site. The bottom line is that your market research should give you a very good insight into visitor behavior and what's happening on the web. And don't forget competitive analysis. You want to stay on top of what other sites are doing in your marketplace, because if you can't do it as well or better, then visitors are just going to go to your competitors' websites. So I want to stress once again that search engine keywords are very important in your online strategy, and they must be researched. You need to have a handle on what your customers and your target market, what terms they're searching on, because your whole web strategy could revolve around this. So important to get feedback from users, and there's 3 ways I want to talk about with you as far as doing that in a cost-effective way that will give you valuable insights. The first is to conduct telephone surveys. Call people, ask them what they would like to do on your website, what things are important to them on your site. Don't necessarily take them to your site and ask their opinion, because opinions aren't going to work here. You want to get some concrete data and find out what is it that you're looking for, what's important to you, and what would you like to see on our website. User testing is another great way to get visitor behavior feedback. Put people on your website, have them go through a few tasks. Tell them to research your products or services and contact your sales team. Have them buy something online, or have them go find your company location. As they do this, ask them for feedback, ask them to talk out loud. Don't help them, don't give them pointers or suggestions. If they ask you questions, don't answer their questions. And by doing this, you'll get valuable insights on what's important on your website and what users want to do. And then finally, you've got to be looking at your stats and comparing it to the data you get from your surveys and your user testing. So all of these things will, in a nutshell, will boil down to an internet marketing plan. And the slides you just saw in this presentation are basically the outline for the internet marketing plan. It's so critical that you put these things together, put them on paper, and then develop an action plan. And the other slides and videos on this website will help you do that. In the next presentation, we're going to look at who's going to implement these things, and that's your web marketing team.